welcome to part 1 of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters Podcast. Use the hashtag 3QP to let us know what your sporting interests are. I'm Jemima Duffield.
And I'm Nara Komuye.
So, match day 10. Our feature game was all the way in Kakamega. Kabras versus Homeboyz. Kabras winning that 39-24, although Homeboyz had started, they hit the ground running, scored the first few points, and then floodgates opened, and that was it. So I actually think this was a spirited effort from Homeboyz, in the sense that Kabras has managed to annihilate virtually everyone in their path apart from Kenya Harlequins, who we will talk about later. But Homeboyz seem to have, kept the points. I mean, 39 is not bad for us, a team that I would say has been struggling through Kenya Cup and hasn't been performing the way, people thought they would have. Although they did have Joshua Chisanga back, didn't they?
And actually, Joshua Chisanga did not play as of that morning. He was dropped from the team that morning. The issue being, very many people don't know that. The issue being that apparently the Kenya Rugby Union says he had not been released by his club or by the Polish Rugby Union. Joshua Chisanga thinks otherwise because his contract lapsed in November last year. And as such, he's not been contracted to play rugby there. So he doesn't need to be released by anyone. That's
if your contract has ended, then
it's ended, and I tend to agree with him. My gut tells me, because of the damage that Joshua Chisanga can cause, somebody somewhere intervened to have him not feature on the Homeboyz team. But as you're saying, granted, while people want to look at the fact that yes, 39, maybe close to the 40s that we're used to, but I want to look at this other side. Most of the times it's 40-13, 45, 40-0. This guy has actually registered 24 points against Kabras, who by far, I think, to me, have been the better defenders this season. But like you say, Homeboyz were quick off the blocks, registered a try and conversion, and then Kabras just clawed their way back into it. A series of interplays between the forwards and the backs, very methodical, very precise, and they were able to get their points going into the second half. Then at some point it got to 24-24. And that's when everyone started thinking, look, there might be an upset here from the team that no one expected it to come from, and that's Homeboyz. Like you're saying, Homeboyz really haven't had the perfect season this season. Some part of me feels is because with Paul Murunga being appointed Kenya Sevens coach, a chunk of the Homeboyz players are now playing at the Sevens level, and they're big stars. But with no Sevens action this weekend, the big stars were there, and we're able to see the difference. When the big stars played. Mohamed Omolo was excellent at number 9. William Deford, first center, I think really impressed me. Israel, with his partnership with Israel Soy, Michael Wanjala when he came in. Leonard Mugesi is always going to have a good game. That's guaranteed. So 24-24 for a very long period of the game, and then Philip Wokorach conversion or penalty conversion took it to 27-24, and after that, Kabras were back in control, and they got another 2 tries to take it to 39. So while granted, it's also shown us another side of Kabras. People have been talking about the fact that these guys normally kill the game in the first half, and as such, they don't really need to put up a fight in the second half. And most of their points are normally considered in the second half. It's good to see that, number one, the 3 Karika, the 3 South Africans, that's Claudia Hannes, Logan Basson and Mario Wilson did actually finish out the game. They played him, especially Logan Basson. We've not watched a game where he's finished the 80 minutes because he always gets up because the job is done by that time. So they were able to show us that side that look, they can still grind it to the 80th minute, and that's a question people have been asking. These guys tend to kill the game in the first half,
and then you put your subs on in the second.
And when you put your subs on, so what happens? In the event that you meet a team that's going to push you to the end. Now we have seen that, and they've been able to hold their own. But on the flip side, on the Homeboyz side, and I think everyone is impressed at what Homeboyz were able to achieve on the day, and by the fact that they were playing away, they were playing in Kakamega. It was really impressive the way Homeboyz did. They measured up on the scrums. Lineups were not too excellent, but they were functional. Forward back interplay was good. Mohamed Omolo at that number 9 was, and even the center at number 10. Very good. kudos to Homeboyz. Well, granted, yes, congratulations, Kabras, they get the 5 points, but we have to give Homeboyz, a clap for the performance that they put on.
Yeah, definitely. That is the best performance in terms of points.
Yes.
Against Kabras we've seen the whole season.
Yes, that's
so very
true.
well done to Homeboyz and very well done to Kabras, obviously, for the win.
Yes.
So we had other games, of course, on the weekend. We had Mwamba beating Mean Machine 51-8. I think that was expected.
Yeah.
KCB versus Impala, that was an interesting one for me.
Yes.
Because I felt that scores were 25-3 at the end. And in the first half, no one actually scored. And I was thinking, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes. But it sort of I'll reiterate what I've been saying the whole time, that KCB are not quite performing the way we expected them to this season. But anyway, a win is a win.
Yes.
Then we had Nakuru versus Oilers, which is a derby of sorts.
Yes.
Nakuru saying, yeah, no way, Jose. Not going to happen. 46-37 to Nakuru. Then we had Nondies versus Strathmore, where Nondies beat Strathmore 26-18.
Yeah.
And of course, a shocker of the weekend, which I had to leave till last. Black Blood beating Quins.
Yeah.
Kenya Harlequins 16-15.
Yeah. Last minute drop goal by Brian Rahinya to win it for Black Blood. Though, I'll be honest, I'm speaking for myself, by the way. I'll be honest, after seeing the team that was named on Thursday, and I mean, I say this with all respect to the guys who put on the Queen's jersey, I just got the feeling that there was going to be an upset. And actually, we had a conversation with Nondi's player who was a Black Blood, Moses Becky. And I remember Becky saying that, look, you guys have made 9 changes. It's going to be very tough for you guys. And blood could actually live for such games.
Yep.
And that's exactly what we saw.
Yep, that was
Just a shocker.
Definitely the upset of the weekend.
Yes.
So as far as standings go, right now we have Kabras at number 1, KCB Nondies moving up to 3rd, and Harlequins moving down to 4th after that loss. So now we're getting to the point where if you lose, you just might drop in standings.
Yep, that's true.
Then we've got 5th Mwamba, 6th Homeboyz, Impala, then Nakuru, and then we've got Black Blood, Oilers, Strathmore, and Mean Machine at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Then match day 11.
Yes.
We have KCB versus Kabras, Impala versus Homeboyz, Nakuru versus Mwamba, Quins versus Strathmore, Nondies versus Black Blood, and Machine versus Oilers.
Yes.
How do you think those games are going to go?
Of course, our feature game is going to be KCB versus Kabras.
Yep.
Which as of now should be at the Den. It could be changed because definitely it's going to be a TV game. And this is a game everyone has been waiting for this season, to be honest. KCB versus Kabras. Kabras can only be challenged by a team that really runs the ball, if you ask me. And KCB is not that team. But they have the capability of doing that. I know one part where KCB are going to try dominate is going to be the lineout, because Kabras have had pretty shaky lineouts, and KCB have perhaps the best lineout. I mean, with Peter Curry at number 2 and Oliver Mangeni at second row. Actually, they have the best lineup in the Kenya Cup.
Yeah.
But I just feel that the way Kabras are playing this year, and especially their backline, that to me is going to be KCB's biggest or the weakest link.
Yep.
Their backline, the Kabras backline is very explosive, and it's going to be very tough for KCB. So I'm going to call Kabras on that one. Second one is what?
Impala versus Homeboyz?
We got Homeboyz. Without I've seen, I'm calling Homeboyz.
Nakuru versus Mwamba. Quins versus Strathmore.
Quins will just have to get this one.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah,
there's no choice.
There's no choice. All those 9 changes they made, they need to bring back the big guns.
Nondies versus Black Blood.
Nondies.
And Machine versus Oilers.
Oilers.
I would say Oilers as well.
Yeah.
But guys, let us know what you guys think. Of course, show up to support your teams. You can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
And before we finish, Demi, I'd actually like to give a shout out to Dave Moore. He's been commenting a lot on our videos, both on Facebook and on YouTube. It was good to meet and to put a face to the name. So thank you very much, Dave Moore, for watching our videos each and every week.
Yep, alienda kwa Luya, akakuwa Mluya, ametuma salamu. I'm Demi Duffield.
And I'm Ngara Kabuya.
See you in part 2.